Yo, what's up, all you frogs? I'm hopping to you. Here's Wednesday. It's been a minute, but I've been busy. Monday I started another job. Not that you would care, but you're supposed to like me. You're coming for my personality. You're staying for the views, okay? So I figured I would let you all in. Besides doing some work with a newspaper as the designer, I've been scouted, I guess you could say, for a company around my hometown that does graphics and printing and t-shirts and all sorts of shit. So it won't be long. I already did some of that, but they've got the equipment. It's like being able to play the instruments, but you've got that friend who's already got the studio. I couldn't afford that, but I can play. So I've got the equipment now. I already had the ideas, so keep in touch with that. I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you to follow all my stuff. I'm gonna whore myself out. Pause it. But other than that, I'm wearing my hat. Oh, it's not as bad. My hair is wild all day. Been hot. Frizzing out, looking like a damn afro. Like I'm White Joy Villa or something. Without the Scientology. Nice hat from Yard Sale. Monroe, shocks and struts. That's what I do. I shock and I strut. But Roger Stone did nothing wrong. I'm wearing my shirt today. I did one day last week, but I didn't feel like putting it back on just cause. But I did a video and something else that day. But your boy's getting in trouble, or he's under fire just for dick wagging. Really. When you say Julian Assange said he might release this, and you're jerking it like, oh, I know this guy, he's probably going to do this. That'd be like me saying right now, oh, I know Trump. If I know Trump, he's going to investigate the Democrats. If he does, it's not, oh, Dylan's in secret communications. I'm dick wagging. Oh, I know Trump. I don't fucking know Trump. I've seen him in person, but not in person. But anyways, hey, I know Julian Assange. He's going to release those files. He didn't release them on Roger's time. And Roger had nothing to do with it. They didn't even give him the emails when he was reaching out towards them for information. So he's got shit on. And Julian came out and said, "Come on, man, don't dick wag. You're fucking it up." And but yeah, free Roger Stone. He did nothing different than a CNN person would, except for the fact that CNN person would have lied about getting the information, just saying, "Damn, we got slighted by Assange, we're embarrassed or whatever." CNN would have said, well, Assange didn't tell us that Russia didn't hack, so I don't want to hear it. Somebody investigating, see what's going on. God forbid. But to get into this stream video, I know it's like a little dated almost, but it's important to me because it's one of my main squeezes. Of course. Yeah, Brian Sims. Pro-abortion senator. Watch this, guys. And we're using DuckDuckGo, just cause. He's in Pennsylvania, so I figured I wanted to make sure I got it right. Remember, this is it, your district, 182. Activist on LGBT rights, blah, 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 blah. Sims is first openly gay elected. That's supposed to be hyphenated, by the way, Wikipedia. That's probably even a hate crime at this point. But, oh my God. First gay elected. Who cares? George Washington was the first president, but he's also the first white president. We never say that. It's just so damn stupid. I've thought this even before I was in politics from the Marxist point of view. Everybody in guitar, when they would play, or in any music, you'd say, oh, I'm the best guitarist in the room, and you'd be right. Someone else would say, well, I'm the best guitarist in the room with long hair, and somebody else would have long hair, and so they would say, this didn't happen, this is hypothetical in my mind, of course. I'm eliminating you all on how stupid this is. Oppression Olympics and having to be first at everything like the trophy generation. It's not just the kids coming up; it's the people that helped fuel those kids to think that way that are doing this still too. But it's like some other person saying, "Well, cool, best guitarist with long hair." Looks down at his hand. Ooh, I'm the best guitarist with long hair that's left-handed. And somebody else say, down the line, well, but I'm the youngest though. And they're all about the same, but they're trying to dick wag each other. And it's like oppression Olympics, except for the fact that it's cocky, if that makes sense. And they do that all the time. Well, and this kid's only 8 years old, and most of those kids have been playing since they were 2. And that's not taking it away from them, but it's just stupid. From the party of people, well, age is just a number. Why not let them be 16 when they vote? And then, and he's only 8. Why is it a big deal? If you can vote at 16 by 8, that's halfway through. Should be at least cognizant enough to do something. But I'm going to get into this, after my rant of, he's so gay. Oh, so gay, who cares? First of all, I'm just going to get into it, never mind.
Planned Parenthood of Southeastern Pennsylvania, they have to deal with people like this every single day.
Like who?
They deal with people out here every single day telling others what's right for their bodies. But we're not...
Telling who what's right with their bodies? He's talking about women. You're not going to get any sympathy from me because it's not your body. You know it's not. Unless this guy, this fruit right here, and I'm going to be malicious because he's advocating for murder. And he's, I don't know, he's just a cunt. Look at him, he's just a cunt. It really has nothing to do with the sexuality, but I'm one of those people that if your prerequisite is being a cunt or a dick, I'll venture into the attacking your person. I don't care. Who cares? This guy's going to do it to them, but whose body? I want Brian Sims to start calling pregnant women and saying, how's it feel to have 4 legs and 4 arms? Or, maybe he's so progressive that there's a cutoff point at which he can call it 4 arms and 4 legs or not. Otherwise, it's not. It's not her body. If it was her body, those would be her arms, those would be her legs. And the parasite issues fucked up, or arguments a fucked up one too. Might as well be a piece of shit. And people want to argue about rape and things like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where it's at. We're past, back in the day, someone's going to kill me if I have a baby out of wedlock. It's going to be embarrassment to society or anything, or even if help to the mother. Nobody's arguing help to the mother. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend to concede any points to you on that. But telling them what they can and can't do with their bodies. Women can pretty much tell us what we can and can't say. So you're controlling my body by telling me I can't talk about an issue. The mouth is a body part.
I'm not going to let them get away with it.
Oh, he's not going to let
Absolutely
him
not.
do
No,
it.
ma'am. Don't hide. Don't hide. You're publicly protesting women coming to a Planned Parenthood. It's something they have a right to do.
So he's standing up for women by stepping up to women. He's a real sassy gay guy too, I thought gays were supposed to be good with ladies, I thought they were supposed to love being around them. This guy just seems abysmal, and look, he's harassing this woman. It's pretty low down. And she's out on the street. Sure, she can be filmed. I'm not saying that. I am saying how he went about it. Because he has no reason to do it. He's not proving anything. He's not having a debate. And you'll see in a second when we look at this. But how pro-woman that he is, that he's telling a woman that she can't talk about what another woman's doing. So if I can't talk about it because I don't have a womb, these women have wombs. These women have similar body parts. And so what if they disagree with, well, you can't because you're maybe right wing. See what I mean? Earlier I was making the analogy about people keep trying to one-up each other. Well, I'm the coolest with long hair. I'm the coolest with long hair, but I've also got a beard, so I'm kind of different. This is it. Well, you can't speak on it unless you're a woman. Woman speaks on it. Has an opinion that he doesn't like. Well, you got to be a woman that's actually been through that. Well, I've been through it, and I don't think it's right. Well, you got only people that have actually been raped can speak on the issue. A woman comes out, gets raped, has been raped, says, hey, I thought about it. I'd actually decided with my pastor, counselor, whoever, family, that we wanted to keep the child because I don't believe in terminating the pregnancy, killing the life to spite the father. That's what I feel like I'd be doing. And she comes out and says, and I'm happy. I look at my child every day and think, I'm so glad that you were born. No, not that woman. See, it will never stop. What they need to do, because everybody knows what the hell they're doing, it needs to be, we're only going to talk to people who believe like us. Only people that think like we do are allowed to protest. Well, then why the hell protest? You can be at this Planned Parenthood and picket and all sorts of stuff if you're for it. Well, if you're for it, you're going to be going in it. You're not going to need to protest. You're not going to need to stand outside and go, yay.
Don't hide from it. Don't hide from it. Have the courage of your broken convictions if this is what you're going to do.
Don't hide from me, and talks about broken convictions. This guy is an openly gay man wanting to talk to somebody about convictions, which he's implying in the Christian sense, which I always call it conviction. You have a conviction of the heart. But he's going to sit there and talk about her having conviction. Like what? And are they not grounded? Are they not grounded in faith? This guy says supposedly is. And Pete Buttigieg, butt judge. I mean, he's openly gay, and he's talking about how he's a real Christian and Donald Trump's not. Now, I'm not trying to get into who's the better Christian, because I don't do that. It's between me and Christ. That's all I'm worried about. When God comes and burns this fucker down, he's not going to say, well, how good were you compared to Donald Trump or even Brian Sims? I'm not judging Brian Sims. I'm taking apart his character and how he handled this. I'm analyzing it. But, I mean, he's a lost soul, just like, most of these other Democrats. And not all, but, the ones I mean of power-hungry variety. And of no substance. He's all bark. But he's talking about, don't hide from your broken convictions. What is he, God? He says you can and can't talk about this. You can't protest here. I run this place, whatever. I'll tell you what Planned Parenthood does and doesn't do, and I'll tell you if that's good or not. You can't speak if you don't have the right opinion. He might as well. He thinks he's God, apparently. He's going to talk to somebody about conviction. It's hilarious.
This is what you're going to do. Everyone, this is what they deserve, and this is what they need. Every single time any of us walk by something like this, we're letting them win. We're letting them think that they are right.
Who's them, Goy? Be careful. Throwing words around like them nowadays will get you in trouble. Depends on how you stylize it, I guess. I mean, that's a little edgy humor for you, I'm feeling a little fucking wild today. I worked all day. And so I'm trying to let loose. So if you'll just let me. I thought that was funny. Them, everybody, when you say they're trying to steal the election in 2016, who's they? Who's they? Don Lemon and all these people playing coy. Who's they? You can't, and Joe Rogan loves to even Alex Jones, they. Who's they? Who's they? See, you can't just blanket statement people and then rush off. You have to, who's they? You have to personify who they are. Who's they? Who's they, man? But I will give him one thing. He's not being violent. But usually violence happens in the lesbian community of gay America, not the queer. I guess you'd call it queer. Is that okay now? They added a Q. I thought it was funny because the word queer, old school, like grandmas and stuff could pronounce it queer. That used to be weird. Well, that's queer. And then now you say queer and people, well, that's hate speech, you bigot. And I go, yeah, but you appropriated the term queer because it was weird, and you guys made your bones, homosexuals did, about being weird, about we're coming out, get used to it. We're different, but get used to it. Different, but the same. So I think it's funny that now and to go back to the thing, like Sims said, these women out here protesting, if they were protesting for more abortion, he wouldn't give a shit about women protesting. He's being disingenuous. It's based off of, he thinks, oh, you're allowed to say it? Well, you're not allowed to say it. If you agree with me, you're not. You're fine. If you don't, you're not. But queer, somebody gets, I want my LGBTQ community, the approved person can get up at a rally and Yeah, or AOC, this is what lesbian love looks like. This is what queer community looks like. And it's okay, we're a little weird. People would either shut up. But if I say something's queer, or if I call someone a queer, because that's middle school, baby. It was middle school lingo before it was anything. Smear the queer. You ever played Smear the Queer? I wonder if this guy's ever played it. Who's that guy? Who's that? I can't think of his name, but it's the Montana senator, right? Wasn't it Montana? Greg Gianforte. That's a while back. You have to excuse me. This is all just running like hell. Greg Gianforte. Where's he at? You think he's gonna body slam that guy? He's got some practice. It'd be Smear the Queer then, wouldn't it? Brian Sims would probably like that. And before anybody cries, I'm picking on gays just like I would straights. I'm taking the shit out of all these people because I don't treat them any different. I shit on David Hogg on Twitter recently, not because I care. Someone popped it up or mentioned it. I thought it was funny. And he's, hashtag fuck the patriarchy. I was like, damn, this guy, I guess guns didn't work. And I thought, if he really wants to end the patriarchy, he needs to step down as leader of March for Our Lives, because by default he's a man taking a woman's position, unless he wants to say he's a woman, which I wouldn't doubt it. He looks pretty low T to me, especially with a CIA spook father. He's not going to come out of the house much because he's under protection or something. Looks pale, looks frail, but he's a Harvard boy, so he might be the next president. But he was looking to pork some women because he's a hog. He was tired of the sausage party. His name's Hog. Get it? Like a pig. But I'll have to look that up. Maybe in another video. I thought that was funny, just because I was railing him. And that's the reason that Owen Benjamin got kicked off, because I know I mentioned him earlier in the week. All the stuff melds together, small world. But he said, I want someone who can actually grow pubes first before they can tell me what I can and can't do with my firearms or, freedoms in general. And he got in trouble. So, whatever.
And we know better. These people have no business telling anybody else what's right for their body. They have no business telling people of color what they think about what they do with their face.
See, he said they have no right to tell them what they can and can't do with their body. He's telling women right now that, de facto, vicariously, what they can and can't do with their body. You're not allowed to protest at this Planned Parenthood. You're not allowed to use your brain. That's a body part. You're not allowed to use your brain to think or develop your own morals or to defend yourselves. And notice, he's not going up there saying, sleek and cool like some Fleckus, shout out to Fleckus Talks, this warm, inviting, he's gay, he should be able to pull it off. I'm a dickhead, it'd be harder for me. But to go up there and say, hey guys, what do you have? What problem do you have with abortion? What do you, blah, 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 blah. He can't defend his points. There's been numerous people that said, we'll fly you out to our studios after this happened and debate it. No. We'll go to you. No. He's just like Northam. Northam wanted to say his piece like a little snake that he was. We'll keep the baby comfortable. He hadn't had to answer for anything like that. And the people on that radio station during that time didn't even push back on him. For shame. Supposed to be some, Southern dames in that Virginia radio station. Most Southern dames, if not all that I know better than that. So it's not some weirdo thing to flippantly throw around abortion like means of birth control without pushback. Like, are you serious? Did you just say deliver a baby and then keep it comfortable? But yeah, this is what we do. And he said people of color. What is he assuming, that most people that use Planned Parenthood are people of color? Well, it's because they're poor and can't have kids. Well, then why are they having sex? Fight me. Why are they having sex? You can get contraceptions everywhere. There was contraception on the market whenever Roe v. Wade was being pushed through off of that bullshit lie that she even came out, Jane Doe, and said, or Jane Roe, and said, I lied about that. No, crickets. No, who cares? What, you mean fix that? We've already got the narrative out. Now we got what we wanted passed. Who cares? Same thing with like an OJ, you know, if I did it, you know, or when NASA sent that moon rock as a gift to somebody, and in Dutch labs they tested it and it turned out to be petrified wood instead, and they said, well, you've already gave us the money to fund another space trip. Thanks, buckos, you retards. You know, takesies backsies. So apparently they're all like that. No takesies backsies.
Families with their own family planning. This is disgusting. This isn't Christianity. This isn't love. This is
family with their own family planning. Now, I'm not judging you, but what kind of parent would you be if you're taking your kids with you to even sit in the same room and hear about what you're going to do to their future sibling? It's pretty rough. And to sit there and talk about family in one side of your mouth, and then out of the other side of your mouth, talk about women's right to kill the babies that would be their family that they reared, the children that they reared. And then out of the front of his mouth, I guess he's got a dick. But
this isn't love. This isn't support. This isn't kindness.
This isn't Christianity. This isn't love. This isn't support. Christianity is about being kind. You don't have to be nice. Being nice is a pushover. Being a coward. Being nice is somebody like this guy who has no dog in the fight but wants to be quiet and be nice and don't step on any toes. I want to know, like, what's your business? This is not. My thing would be, you know, they're better than I would say, what's your dog in this fight, fag? Are you mad because, you know, you want the right for your little girlfriends to be able to abort a fetus after a night of mindless sex? Or baby, I shouldn't say fetus. But all the people that say it's not a baby, it's not offspring, it's a fetus, and you look up fetus in Latin, it stands for offspring. It's, you know, self-owned. But I like what they did. I would have said something crass or something back to him, and he would have got what he wanted. But, you know, maybe not. But you know what I mean, in the perfect world, because no one cares. That people will probably. There seems to be positive reaction on the side of, wow, this dude's a dickhead. But the Christian, I just think it's funny, the Christian way, the whatever. They're doing what Christ would have done, whether you think abortion or not. They're standing up for what they believe in a passive way. Not that you have to be, but in a passive way. No violence. They're not even talking. They're speaking their piece, in a sense, like standing there for what they believe. And they said they're just praying. You know, that's all they're doing, praying for the place. Can't have that either, because that would imply that something wrong is going on in there. When somebody says, "Oh, Christians hate me, I'm a gay," this dude's probably like, "Well, Christians want me and my, like, stupid ass Ellen Page. Mike Pence would want me and my wife to be electroshocked." It's like, I'm surprised she got a wife, even as a lesbian. She's so ugly. And second of all, to these losers, I'm praying for you is hate speech. It's, oh, you're being a homophobe. Out of all the things I've said tonight, in this one, a lot of stuff could be considered quote-unquote homophobic. This dude's being Christophobic. Remember, there's not a word for that. But the thing is, telling somebody, I don't agree with your lifestyle, that's not hate speech. Just because you feel bad, he wants to throw around the term conviction. Just because he feels convicted doesn't mean that he can get butthurt. And, oh, you can't say this, you can't do that. If we outlawed people being able to call out what they see as wrong or immoral, these people would still be unhappy. Meaning gays, and not all, but the real militant gays, whether it's militant atheists, and I have no problem with people that don't believe, you know, you say, oh, it's hard to, like I've said in many videos, this guy even too, if he wanted to debate me and say, well, what about this case, or what, not all of them are like that, you know, in civil, that's fine. Same with the atheists, you know, it's hard for me to believe that God can do this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not blah, blah, blahing you to, you know, disrespect you, but at least you're coming at me with opinions that you've thought about. There's inner monologue going on. You're not just this guy. Look at all these
This
hearts.
is the hiding, shameful face of those that judge at Planned Parenthood.
Hiding, judge. So you hear that, judge. So what is he doing? He's passing judgment on these people. You've heard it a lot of times throughout this whole video. He's shit on them, he's trashed them, he's told them why they were wrong, they can't do anything right, this is evil, this is wrong, this is immoral. What have they done? Nothing. They haven't talked to him, and not because they're afraid, not because he's going to blow them the fuck out, because they're doing what they were doing. Keep it to themselves and praying. He can't stand it. And it's because his problem's with God or Christ and not with these people, and he sees it in them. You can hate me all you want, but that's what's going on. The world's a spiritual battle, and he's picking up on it just like how I am. Just like many of you that watch will. And he feels convicted. These people have a problem with Mike Pence not because he's going around saying I'm going to hold gays down and shock the gay out of them. He mentioned something about voluntary electroshock therapy. Voluntary. That's not even good enough. No voluntary. You know what? We don't want them to even think that they could get fixed. Next up, the Democratic ticket. Alcoholism is not a disease. No. Don't go to AA. Dummy. Don't go to AA. The only reason that it feels like, you're about to wreck off the road at the end of the bar or at a long night of drinking, the only reason that all your money's going to booze, the only reason that you're getting violent and passing out or pissing your pants is because somebody's judging you, man. It has nothing to do with how much alcohol you drink. And if all those stupid people that are judging you were off this planet, you would feel a lot better. No, you wouldn't. The conviction would still be there. And he can't tell me that the conviction wouldn't be there or he doesn't know conviction because he's saying that they are convicted. He's saying that there's conviction to be put upon them.
It's disgusting.
Disgusting, okay. This guy, the type of sex this guy probably has, he wants to call it disgusting. And I'm not for sexual libidinous activity for straight people either, okay? I'm for getting married, doing it right, the wholesome way. Not wholesome way as in, So I don't want to hear who it is. I'll play it one more time for y'all.
Planned Parenthood of Southeastern Pennsylvania, they have to deal with people like this every single day. They deal with people out here every single day telling others what's right for their bodies. But we're not going to let them get away with it. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. Don't hide. Don't hide. You're publicly protesting women coming to a Planned Parenthood. It's something they have a right to do. Don't hide from it. Don't hide from it. Have the courage of your broken convictions if this is what you're going to do. Everyone, this is what they deserve and this is what they need. Every single time any of us walk by something like this, we're letting them win. We're letting them think that they are right, and we know better. These people have no business telling anybody else what's right for their body. They have no business telling people of color what they think about what they do with their families, with their own family planning. This is disgusting. This isn't Christianity. This isn't love. This isn't support. This isn't kindness. This is the hiding, shameful face of those that judge at Planned Parenthood. And it's disgusting.
This guy. And I wanted to close on the fact that this dumb fucker is talking about people of color. Why aren't people of color in that position? Quote unquote, whites of color, first of all, dumbass. Everybody says people of color and racism. We all know 2019, if you don't know, it's a Marxist tactic for anybody who's not white to use against white people. You're nuts. And people of color, oh, how come all the Planned Parenthoods are in inner cities? Oh, shut up, they're not like that. Shut up, what a myth. What a myth. It's like they target black. Shut up, what a myth. Planned Parenthood is God. And then this guy, when it suits him, oh, well, people are going to be hurt the most are people of color. What are they going to do without aborting all their babies? See, the black family was destroyed because LBJ and all of them incentivized kicking the men out of the house, and they're doing it with all people. They just happen to get the blacks first. You put a woman in that position to where she's got kids, and she can't afford them because she doesn't have that sturdy, structured family. Like I said, you should do it right. Just a few seconds ago, you should do it right. She won't be in the position of doing that. And if she has a strong man, he's going to buck up to her and say, "You're not destroying my child." That's all it takes. These women don't have any leaders. They've been told, your body, your choice, it's your leader, it's whatever. And the reason I'm mocking is because the Democrats and others do this, but not because they care about women, not because of you go girl. It's to make women destructive. It's to get women used to destruction. If you can get a woman to kill her own offspring, that's a pretty good gauge as to how far. You know, if a girl's letting you like whisper in her ear at a party, you're like, man, she's like, you really into me. I mean, I might could kiss her. You know what I mean? You're close. You know, if you got a woman killing her own child willfully, that's some type of black magic, man. You're getting somebody. That's like getting people to ask for their own disarmament, like David Hogg I mentioned earlier. That's like wizards love that stuff. These wizards, Satanists, whatever you want to call them, these mind manipulator propagandists, megalomaniacs. They want you to be comfortable with your own demise because it's just that much more with them. It's like, for them, it's like when someone who's getting raped gives up. You know, it's that sense of power they get that, wow, they couldn't fight. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop fighting against stuff like this, against retards like this guy who's trying to dox people. What good is it going to know that redheaded woman? You know what? Everybody knows her now, and these people now, but not for the reason you wanted to, idiot. So you guys let me know what you think. I probably missed something. Who knows? I know that guy missed his calling as the special ed department. Not as the teacher, though. As the exhibit of what not to be. So, if you think I'm wrong, let me know. Or you disagree with me, I would like to hear from someone who actually can formulate the argument for it, because I'm not one of those people that say let the mother die when they get raped or things like that at the expense of letting the kid be born. But the thing is, those are seldom, very seldom. You can't pretend like that's all the time. And if you check the abortion numbers versus the low rape numbers and how high that is, there's no way you could get that many abortions from that little rape. Unless they're like all quintuplet, whatever, and then you're still not scratching the surface. Somebody's lying. And it's been set up with the colleges and all that so they can tout their 1 in 5 girls, 1 in 5 girls. If 1 in 5 girls was getting raped in college like the Congo, bitches would be going to college. They would be posting pictures on Instagram. Me and my girls on, we're out. Just us girls. You wouldn't be just you girls. You'd be in fear for your life. Because every man's a predator when it's 1 in 5 at that point. There's the stuff again. Oh, hold on. Let me do this. Booming it. Booming it. Pause it if you need to. Hit me up. Man, hit me up. We'll discuss it. But I'm not Catholic, but even the Catholics say you can choose between the mother and the woman's or a child's life when the mother's life's in danger. The decision is to be made by the mother and the husband, who should be there. Grant Northam didn't talk about a husband. We'll let the woman be there and not stay out of a lady's area. I'm a man. You're not going to tell me what I can and can't do when it's my wife. And I'm not going to worry about it because I would never marry a woman who would have an abortion. But people will. There's people who will have that problem. And women can use that as spite over the man. It's just a real wicked, path to go down. To glorify it as such. But to talk about it like it's just popcorn is, it's Greek to me. And with my big nose, I got Greek ancestry. I should know. I should know what's Greek to people. And the other German part of me should, actually respect how far eugenics has gone in America, but I just can't. Just can't. Let me know. Follow me wherever I put you. Roger Stone did nothing wrong, you see? Whack! Goes the mic. Peace out.